from the websites I had you guys look at and through your definitions, you should have the definition of a trapezoid. It's a quadrilateral with one pair of opposite sides parallel. Only one. Remember, a parallelogram was two pairs of parallel sides. So the parallel sides are called the bases. The non-parallel sides are called legs. There's a special kind of trapezoid. An isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid in which the two legs are going to be congruent. So we have our parallel sides, the bases, and now the legs are the pieces that are going to be congruent. So in the isosceles trapezoid theorem, this is going to be a reason in a lot of proofs that we have. Isosceles trapezoid theorem. The base angles of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent, meaning angle A is congruent to angle B, angle C up here is congruent to angle D. Not the opposite sides now, just the base angles. And remember, this is only true for an isosceles trapezoid. You hopefully also found out something about the median. The median is a segment that joins the midpoints of the legs. Now this is for any old trapezoid. It does not have to be an isosceles trapezoid. That length, this is the midpoint M. N is the midpoint of trapezoid W, X, Y, Z. And there was a median trapezoid theorem. Again, another theorem from this chapter that we're going to be using a lot. So that says two things. It says that MN is parallel to the two bases, so WX and ZY. It also says that the length of this is equal to the average of the bases. So remember average. You take the two sides, the two bases, you add them together, divide by how many you have, that equals what M and the length of the median equals. Shown is the median of a trapezoid, and we need to solve for x. So again, remember, the average of the bases equals the length of the median. So the length of our median is equal to the average of the bases, 2x minus 1 plus 7x plus 3 all over 2. I'm going to get rid of that 2 in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. So I have 38 equals, I'm going to simplify the top to get 9x plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. And now I'm going to get x now to be 4. A kite is a quadrilateral that has two pairs of congruent sides, but opposite sides are not congruent. Consecutive sides are congruent. And this definition is actually not one of the formal definitions that's in our book. It's in one of the examples of our book, one of the homework problems you guys are going to have. So the consecutive sides are congruent. So those top two sides, those two sides. There's a couple other properties. Our diagonals are going to be perpendicular. One diagonal is the bisector, perpendicular bisector of another. And this diagonal, let's call it a B, also bisects those angles. Notice the other diagonal, let's call it CD. CAB is the perpendicular bisector of CD, but diagonal AB bisects the angles Here are your lesson questions. Make sure that you do the written exercises, not the classroom exercises. You're doing the written exercises.